Howdy readers, I'm Jason. This is Chapter and Verse. And this is a long overdue ramble with the yarn. It's a ramble with the yarn. It's a ramble with the mammoth that is heretofore still unnamed. Many of you have submitted names in the contest that I'm holding for the March of the Mammoths. I will leave a link to that video below, and below that video in the comments below you can posit a name for the mammoth, and the winner of that contest at the end of March is going to win a copy of Sigrid Undset's Kristen Lavransdatter in the Penguin Deluxe Classic Edition, translated by Tina Nunnally. I had planned to have this video up Monday or Tuesday night. Well, Monday night I had forgotten was The Voice. Kelly and I watched the blind auditions. And then Tuesday night was the ironically named Super Tuesday. And watching the polls close and the results come in on Tuesday night, which I did compulsively because I'm a glutton for punishment, felt like watching a volcano erupt, only the volcano wasn't filled with lava, it was filled with shit. And so Tuesday evening was awful for me. It was absolutely awful. And I barely slept Tuesday night. I barely slept. Probably got 90 minutes of sleep between worry about the coronavirus and disgust with most of the states that voted on Tuesday. I just wasn't feeling so great, and I woke up Wednesday morning, and my first thought was, I didn't do this, but my first thought was Wednesday morning that I just really kind of wanted to stay home from work and spend the day drinking scotch in my pajamas. So that didn't happen, which is, I suppose, probably a good thing. But anyway, that's why this video did not get made and edited and uploaded on either Monday or Tuesday night. So, but I'm here now, crocheting what was originally going to be like a little blanket for our cat, Blue. But I'm really bad for some reason at judging the width of projects when I start them. They always end up bigger than I think they're going to be. So what was going to be a cat blanket for Blue is now going to be a scarf for one of you. I have decided that my rambles will see me crocheting scarves that I will then give to people in the Booktube community that I just really love and appreciate, and think use a scarf maybe. So anyway, that's where I'm at right now. But there are a few things that I was wanting to talk with you guys about tonight. And the first of these is March of the Mammoths, hashtag Marching Mammoths, which is going on right now, of course, and is being hosted by myself, Lukash from Totally Pretentious, and Alex from Big Al Books, and I will link their channels below. For those of you who are uninitiated, March of the Mammoths is a month-long read-along where we celebrate big books. And by big, I don't mean 400, 500, 600, or even 700 pages. I mean that the point of March of the Mammoths is that you find at least one of the books on your shelves that is 800 pages or more that you have wanted to get to for a long time, and you dive into it. It doesn't necessarily matter that you finish it in March. I didn't finish mine in March last year, but that you embark and that you do it earnestly, and that you just kind of surrender. Because big giant books, right, especially big novels, as we all know, create their own environments. They create their own atmospheres. They have a kind of gravitational pull that other books don't have, really, right? So books that are 800, 900, 1,000, 1,200 pages long there's something about them that is deeply challenging and deeply rewarding. And the experience of reading a book like that can be just so much more rich somehow. And oftentimes it doesn't even have to do so much with the book itself, but just what's going on in your life, and the fact that a book of that girth, right, a book of that scope is the kind of book that it's going to be really difficult for you to escape from. And once you have escaped from it, you're, doing your thing in the workaday world, as it were, you can't wait to get back to it. And that's not necessarily true, or at least not true on the same level, in the same way, of a novel or a work of nonfiction that's 200, 300, or 400 pages. It's just not the case. So anyway, I wanted to encourage all of you once again to take part in March of the Mammoths. My mammoth this month is going to be The Mirror and the Light by Hilary Mantel. And strangely, I have 2 copies of it winging their way to me. One winging its way to me right now, and one next week. So I had pre-ordered the Canadian edition of The Mirror and the Light because I hate the American cover. The American cover is just god-awful. Hilary Mantel, I'm sure she was pissed as hell when that cover design was settled on. And because authors, I don't know if many of you know this, but most authors have virtually no say, if any say at all, in the cover design of their books. But I also have, Kelly and I should say, also have a signed copy, an inscribed signed copy of the British edition of The Mirror and the Light, making its way to us, courtesy of our friends Roz at Scally Dandling About the Books and Tilly from Tilly's Shelf. I will link the wonderful short video that they uploaded on Roz's channel yesterday from their experience at the Waterstones at Piccadilly Circus, where they were some of the first people in the world that got to purchase copies of The Mirror and the Light, and they got to meet Hilary Mantel and have her sign their books. But they also bought a copy for me and Kelly, inscribed to the both of us. And that was kind of the highlight of my day yesterday. It was pretty wonderful. It was completely unexpected. And it just reminded me of how wonderful Booktube, this corner of Booktube, can be. And just the warmth in it, the generosity in it, the kindness in it, the affection in it. And, I was thinking as well about the video that Steve Donahue posted earlier in the week, where it was a mail haul video, and Mark Richardson from Richardson Reads had sent Steve his own copy of, I think it was the New York Times book review, because Steve's had come in the mail like completely mangled, and there was like 4 pages that weren't mangled. And, Mark was done reading his copy, and so he sent it to Steve. And we do things like that for each other in this corner of Booktube. And, my God, I have received... Hello, Blue. We have a visitor. Hey, buddy. Kelly and I have received books and assorted other gifts, including delicious food items from Booktubers all over the place. From Steve in Boston, and from Mark in the Netherlands, and from Alba in Puerto Rico. And, my God, and Roz sent me a book... I think it was last summer, maybe, from England, a book on Terrence Malick, my favorite living filmmaker. And we just do these kinds of things for each other here in this corner of Booktube every once in a while. And we don't do them with any expectation of reciprocity at all. We just do them because we love books, and we love each other, and we do these things because the community that we have here is just one of kind of nurturing and support and shared passion for this great invention that is the printed word on the printed page. And it's just kind of remarkable, especially when you look at the world around us and just how bitter and how cynical and just how just fraught with tension and anxiety everything else seems to be. Booktube seems more and more like the place that all of us can go to retreat from that, and to be enriched by each other's company and each other's thoughts and each other's generosity. And yeah, it's just marvelous. Like when I think back about my life before Booktube, I don't know how I got along, frankly. Despite the fact that I'm married to a wonderful woman and I have wonderful hobbies and wonderful friends and a really great job, I just don't know how I did it without this community. So, which brings me to the last thing that I wanted to mention tonight. So, a booktuber who was one of the first booktubers that I really kind of connected with here on the platform. Her name is Kaelin, and her channel is Kaelin Reads, and she has been away from Booktube for quite some time now, for more than a year. I've stayed in touch with her through Goodreads, and have long wanted to see her come back, but really didn't feel like she ever would. And she posted a kind of comeback video tonight. And I was so pleased to see it. And one of the things that she talked about was just how much she misses the community. She misses the support. She misses the camaraderie. And she misses the kind of the give and take of the whole thing. And it was just wonderful to see her on camera again. So I'm going to link to her comeback video, we'll just call it that, in the description box below. And I'd love for all of you to check it out and to welcome her back to Booktube, because as wonderful as this place is, it is better when Kaelin is in the mix, when she's part of it. So anyway, so that's that. That's kind of all I wanted to chat with you guys about tonight. Like I said, I've been really, really, really depressed about the state of the world, and but the great bright spot is the fact that the mirror and the light is there. It's on the horizon. It's going to be arriving in the mail next week, and I am going to spend a great many of my waking moments reading that book, especially given the praise that has been leveled at it. That's the thing with a trilogy like that. I mean, talking about having the deck stacked against you. When your first two books in the trilogy are both Booker Prize winners, and the first one is also a National Book Critics Circle Award winner, the expectations are high that your third book be at least as good as those first two. And the early reviews have suggested that it is at least as good as those first two. So thank you, Hilary Mantel, for coming through on your end of the bargain. And I look forward to all of the March of the Mammoths videos from all of you, and the remaining Cromwellathon videos from all of you on the Mirror and the Light. And I will see you guys again very soon, probably this weekend, for a tag. So in the meantime, have a good end to your work week, and I will talk to you guys before you know it. Adios.